Welcome to my Builds in Public series. What I'm planning to do is create a plugin that will integrate with Chat GPT and create blog posts. So you'll give a prompt from the WordPress dashboard, saying exactly what you want the post to look like. Chat GPT will create the title, the content. We'll use DALL-E, which is an image generation tool from OpenAI, to generate the featured image. And if an SEO plugin is installed, also create the SEO meta to match that particular bit of content that we've generated. In the end, I'm thinking I might have a product I could potentially sell as a premium plugin, but that's a long way off. Let's talk about what we're going to look at today. I've built a prototype of the software to see if what I want can be done, and what I'm planning to do today is take you through that prototype. So let's jump over to the back end. So this morning, it does work, by the way. This morning I created 4 bits of content using my prototype post creator. So if I add a new post, what I've done here is this AI post generation. So let's say we want a blog post about what is a Labradoodle. Doodle. You can't spell. Doodle. I think that's how you spell it. And then we have a little checkbox to say that you want to generate the content from OpenAI, or from Chat GPT rather. And then you can either publish or save draft. So when you're generating a post, it does take a little bit longer to save. Obviously, it's going off to the OpenAI API, submitting its request and getting its response back. So it takes about 30 seconds to generate the content, which is obviously a lot quicker than it takes to type up the same amount of content. Now you can see my post has been created. So it's set the title, set the slug, and it's pre-populated the content about a Labradoodle. What it doesn't do at the minute, it doesn't generate any images, so I'd have to do that manually, and it doesn't set my meta description for US SEO in my case. So to me, that is a good enough prototype. So I've been able to go from the WordPress dashboard, give a prompt, and it then goes off and grabs and creates this content using AI for me. So just do a preview. You can see we've got a nicely formatted blog post ready to go. Any issues from my prototype? Yes, there are. It only works with the classic editor at the moment. I tried it with the Gutenberg editor and it didn't work, so I'd need to work there. I need some sort of automation to uncheck that once I've created the content. If I wanted to change my prompt and create a new one, it does work. So is a Labradoodle hypoallergenic. Save the draft. It will replace the content with the new prompt. So we can iterate and we can create a better version of the blog post. The code that I showed you, the post that I showed you earlier, I was writing about technical WordPress functions. So I was using it to iterate. I was saying, write me about the WordPress function auth redirect. Then I iterated and I said, write me and include links to code. So you can iterate as if you were on ChatGPT in here. I've had some error handling issues I have to take care of. So obviously that I can iterate and build those into the next version, or as I develop this prototype. I had one occasion where it just brought nothing back, so I didn't know. So some sort of error handling to drop into here to say why it didn't bring anything back would be useful, rather than just giving it as a blank post. Yeah, so then it's changed the post of it being about hypoallergenic. speed possibly is an issue. It did take a bit of time to pull back that data you saw in real time there. So what I've also got is this AI post generation options tab. Let's have a look at that. So here are the options I need to make this code work. I've got an API key, an organization key, there's a user role, and then here's my prompt. So I've got two parts of prompt, a standard prompt that will never change, and then the prompt you give in the blog posts. So I'm saying write a blog post. Do not include any explanations. Sometimes Chat GPT can be a bit verbose and it'll explain why it's returned that. Make the blog post a minimum of 1200 words. I think that might be useful to have that as an option, so you can say how short or long you want your blog post to be. And then this is quite important, and it was quite a bit of trial and error to find this. So I want it to only provide the response in a RFC 8259 compliant JSON response. So when in a very particular format, without deviation. Sometimes you have to be a bit harsh when you're working with your AI. You have to bang the gavel a bit and say, no, I need it like this. So what I'm saying is, give me the content back in this format. So I want a title, then I want content. Then inside the content, I want you to break it up into sections and then section content. So that means it gives me a pre-formatted bit of content that I know exactly what it's going to look like, and then I can create a blog post from that. And we've got some more stuff for how many tokens to use the model Chat GPT 4 in this case, the endpoint. Got some stuff for DALL-E that I'll use later on. So I've not built a plugin at the minute. I just did this very quickly and I added a code snippet to do this. Quickly talks through my code, it grabs the options, connects to Chat GPT, OpenAI rather, the OpenAI API, gets the results, does some basic error handling, I need to work on that, and then it sets the title, and then it builds up a blog post from the JSON, and then it updates the post like that. So as any developer will tell you, I've only got 100 or so lines of code, but that's taken me days to write. It's so disappointing when you've put days and days of work into something and it's only 100 lines long. So yeah, I've got a working prototype. It's going to do what it wants, and I need to iterate on that and build that into a plugin. I hope you've enjoyed this view of the prototype. If you want to follow along, please do. The next video in this series will be about integrating with DALL-E and retrieving images.